Welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 and welcome back to the Kingdom of Ireland. Isn't it a magnificent thing? We really have spread quite a lot in the last couple episodes, much more than I realised. Even we almost have all of Iceland actually. I think I'm going to leave my vassal to take that, just because we are a little bit occupied down here with maybe fighting the Danelaw this episode. And I did notice, thank you for pointing this out, we do have Gwent here as well that we could probably force under our control here. Now, I think we might have to take it by force because they are Welsh Norse. And although we do want the Welsh to live here, as such, this guy is Welsh. This guy is also Welsh. I don't think we want the Welsh Norse. So I have to see, will he actually accept vassalage, though? He wouldn't accept vassalage either. Why is that? Because different faith is -40 and also the cultural acceptance is -35. So we would have to take that by force. We might actually go ahead and take Gwent now. And then we basically have Wales fully united, so that would be cool. And I did notice as well, on succession, our second daughter here also now has claim to some titles. So she's going to get the High Chiefdom of Leinster and its relative counties as well. So that's all looking good. Now, speaking of daughters, my first daughter is actually Orthodox Irish, which if we take a look at the map, the nearest Orthodox area is all the way down here in southern Italy and where the Byzantines should be. So for Orthodoxy to pop up over here in Ireland, that could be interesting if my first daughter does indeed ascend to the throne, which of course we are role-playing this series. So if she does become queen and she is Orthodox, then Orthodox we shall be, even though we just formed Irish Insulism. It's kind of what it is. So that could be very interesting. Speaking about my daughters, I actually forgot to go ahead and pin them. So let's go ahead and pin them to my character pins up there. Oh, it's this daughter that doesn't have any titles. Okay, we'll go ahead and pin her as well, just so we can keep track of them, because all of these are our heirs now, of course, which is insane. The land is going to be very splintered, but let's go ahead and unpause because we don't have too much going on here. Let's actually go ahead and just lower that down. It should be fine. We have unlocked a diplomacy perk to start off the episode. That's nice. Let's see. Should we get a Life of Glory? Level of Fame impact plus 100%. Let's see. What do we get from going up? Number of knights, secular opinion. So it doesn't increase our prestige gain. Or we could get Dignitas. Diplomacy per level of Fame plus 1. Diplomacy. Let's see. Does diplomacy give us prestige? I don't think it does, right? I know that learning gives us piety, but does this give us prestige? Let's go ahead and see. Oh gosh, that's diplomacy plus 21%. So it does. In fact, then I think it might be worth putting our wife here on court politics. That's an extra 10 learning. That takes 10 diplomacy. That takes us up to 35, and suddenly we're earning 27%. Plus 27% diplomacy, so that's good. And then what we can also do is go ahead and get plus 1 diplomacy per level of fame. And then if we go ahead and look at this, we're now earning plus 30% diplomacy from prestige. Isn't that nice? We're definitely going to hit Exalted Among Men. Although, how old are we? We're currently 54. I think we can make it. We might be culling it a bit close there. We'll have to wait and see. But let's go ahead and unpause. I don't think we have any decisions we can actually undertake here either. So maybe now would be a good time to actually go to war with Gwent, just to take this small county. In fact, Gwent are currently in a war. Oh no, they're being raided. Okay, that's fine. Right. We have 2 banners. So if we just raise local men, that should be enough. So let's go ahead and declare this war. We're going to finally unite Wales here. Let's go ahead and conquer county. We could conquer duchy. Apparently we don't have this duchy title yet. The Duchy of Duhubarth. Do we really not have this? No, we already have this. Okay, we don't need to conquer that duchy then. Interesting why it would let us do that. Or we could force vassalization. Do we let the Welsh Norse have their tiny land in Gwent? The problem is, if we don't stamp out the Norse, there's always the opportunity for an uprising. I think we should conquer county. Let's stamp out the Norse. There we go. Let's go ahead and declare this war. And then over here we can raise local army. So I think it just raises men-at-arms from the nearest counties over here. So we aren't raising our entire army. We can call on our allies as well, but really I don't think that's needed. These guys do not have a lot of men. Let's just go ahead and wait up on this hill whilst the raiders fight here. Royal Court is now at Court Grandeur level 2, so we've gained some there. Gwent actually has quite a lot of men, more men than I thought. In fact, I'm going to raise all of our men. We're not going to take any chances. Okay, maybe that's going a bit overkill. Let's go ahead and send them in. Your sister Grain has died. Oh no, we've gained 39 stress. She died a leper, but how did she die? Died a leper on January 6th. So I think she just got two. She was one-legged, she was wounded, a leper, reclusive, flagellant. She didn't have a good life, our dear sister. Her husband also died. When did her husband die? Oh, from an axe. In 922, so actually quite a while ago. What about this guy? 877. Ah, the giant, yes. And she never had any children, so that's the end of her line, sadly. Now, you guys did tell me how to pronounce this. It's not pronounced grain. I think you said it's pronounced Grawny or Gronya. Gronya sounds right. So, apologies if I'm saying it wrong again. You can try and correct me in the comments. But my wife is no longer called Grain. She's not a cereal. Her actual name is Gronya. So, yeah, that does sound a lot more like a name, doesn't it? Compared to what we were calling her. But yeah, my sister has died. That's sad. And what's happening here? The gift of generosity. My daughter Bridget has been impressed with one of the household champions for a very long time. After finally meeting in person, she has been repeating the warrior's words to herself. Give others their due, and you will receive your own in turn. As others grow around her, so will she. So she gains the generous trait. That's good. That's virtuous to Irish insularists. So let's go ahead and accept that. Looks like my youngest daughter is growing up to be quite a decent person, which is nice to see. And we did win that battle, which is also nice to see. Let's go ahead and check if anything bad happened. One of our knights did get wounded. In fact, our vassal from the Isles there got wounded. We can invite more champions if we wanted to. Let's see, do we need champions? We could do some stronger champions, couldn't we? You know what I realised as well? My sons are old enough now, like he's 25. I think getting some battle experience is probably necessary. Where's my other son? Him? He's 19. I'm going to allow them into battle just because they need to start gaining respect from our soldiers. Because without respect from our soldiers, they're not going to be good rulers of their lands at all. Inspired person can be sponsored. Let's see. He wants to make a throne. He is very competent. Could I do with a new throne? We already have a throne, but it's not one of his thrones. Do you know what? How much? 50 gold for a new throne. I will go ahead and sponsor this. We haven't actually sponsored anyone yet, I don't believe. So let's go ahead and pay for a new throne. Of course, the Irish crown does deserve a throne to match it. And let's see, a name to remember. My beneficiary, Jolfa, approaches me with a thoughtful expression. Is there anyone special to you, my lord? He must read my irritation at such a personal question from my face, because he continues, I mean, is there anyone you wish to dedicate your commissioned artifact to? It is turning out well, but a meaningful inscription would make it feel even more personal. Now, the fact that this is the throne of Ireland, I don't think we should be dedicating it to a single person, because it's going to be passed down through our family for generations to come. Let's see, only the Lord guides me. Could be good. I don't think we should dedicate it to my wife. As harsh as that sounds, it's, yeah. So only the Lord guides me could be good, or is there is no need for a dedication. Only the Lord guides me. We are very religious characters, so I think this makes sense. Let's go ahead and pick that one. We can ask our head of faith for gold, so let's go ahead and do that as well. We don't really need piety anymore, so that's fine. And there we go. The Pope has given us some more gold to play with, which is nice. 129 gold. Maybe we can invest some more on the throne. The Good High Chiefess. Whilst hosting lords and ladies from realms near and far, some opportunities to portray my vassal High Chiefess Gromleth in a good light have presented themselves. My lord, pray tell, who is the most noble lady person you have heard of? Well, me, of course. Oh dear. I may have been lying to my wife all this time. High Chiefess Gromley, without a doubt. Of course, we're going to spend some prestige, but she does gain some opinion of us, so that's nice. Hybrid culture has formed. Bryphono Norse. From the Norse and Breton cultures. Where has this been formed? Where are the Bretons? I'm not actually sure where the Bretons are. It's not going to show up instantly, right? Oh, it's over here. So, Brittany is the Bretons. Makes sense. How are Brittany doing? Brittany are still alive. I'm quite impressed. Usually, Brittany die out pretty fast in my usual saves. So, it's nice to see them still going strong. It looks like Gwent is going to make another stand here on the battlefield. But they are heavily outnumbered. So, I don't think that's going to go too well for them. And we do have a new inspiration pop up here. Creative freedom. This is ridiculous. Elbrig protests. Who is Elbrig? My court physician and antiquarian. Okay. As the keeper of the High King's personal collection, I have a responsibility to ensure the quality of your work. Is the throne considered part of my collection? I guess. It's the crowns, though, surely. You'll see it once it's finished. Hajolfa retorts. You should leave a man to his work when he is making a throne fit for royalty. Let's see, only one of these doesn't give us stress, so stick to your own duties, Elfbrig. Indeed. She may be in charge of my armor and my relics and my swords and stuff, but a throne is a throne. Yeah, stick to your own duties. That feels kind of harsh, to be fair, but it does fit with the, it fits with the character. Right, let's go ahead and look at our events. We did wound 2 of their champions, so that's nice. My son? No, my brother-in-law actually wounding one of them. 65. He's getting on a bit, isn't he? Looks like our family do actually live to be quite old and healthy, which is nice for us. However, not so nice for our children, I guess, if we live a long life. A model ruler, my beneficiary, Hajolfa, brings me a small box and presents it to me with a grin. As I open the gift, I expect a jewel, ring, or carving, but to my surprise, inside is a miniature throne, so small, only a mouse could sit upon it. We paid him for a throne, and he's given us a doll's house chair? The prototype for your new seat, my lord. I thought it would amuse you. Ah, okay. He got me. He got me. That was quite funny. How charming. I will hold on to this. We become the owner of a miniature throne. Child opinion plus 10. A throne fit for a mouse or other rodent to rule from. Crafted by Hajolfa. All very well, but get on with the project. No, I think it was a good joke. As long as you do actually make the throne, that's fine. How charming. I will hold on to this. Indeed. Do we have that in our inventory now? There we go. So child opinion plus 10. Looks like people will like us because of this. Can I not equip this? Ah, I think we need to put it in our court, maybe. Court artifacts. Oh, we would have to replace one of these? No. Do I need to unpause a little bit for it to actually go into my inventory? I'm rather confused. Miniature throne. It's an inventory artifact. Artifact. I'm a little bit confused. Shouldn't it go here? Trinket slot. I'm very confused. Okay, we're just going to pretend it doesn't exist for now. I'm a little bit confused what's happening with that one. Maybe it's so small we can't even find it anymore. We've already lost it, dropped it on the ground, and we're going to have to wait till someone finds it. Child of my dynasty, my daughter-in-law, Kuman, has given birth to a son. So my son and champion, which one is this? Feochad. Feochad is the 20-year-old, so he's my second son. Has now given birth to a son. So let's call him Andrew. And it looks like his succession or his line is going to be strong as well. May you grow strong and wise, Andrew. Indeed. Welcome to the island. At highest quality. My lord, look at that wood. The grain, the density. I have never seen such fine quality before. My beneficiary, Hajolfa, breaks away from our market procession to accost the merchant selling the coveted item, ecstatic over his find. With this, my project would reach new heights. I could create something truly marvelous. Please, my High King, bestow this gift upon me. Now, this one does reduce stress because we are generous. So we could give 50 gold. And then the artifact produced would be of higher quality. And he gains 20 opinion of us. Who are you, anyway? Catholic Norse. Oh, a Norseman is making my throne. Maybe this is the moment where we start liking the Norse. Towards the end of our years here. Although we are taking some land from the Welsh Norse at the same time. Your project is worth investing in, indeed. Let's go ahead and pay the 50 gold for the wood there. It looks like Gwent came back for another battle. We did manage to kill one of their champions and we imprisoned 2 more. So we have captured them. That's all looking fine and dandy. 5 more days. There we go. We have managed to win the war. So let's go ahead and enforce our demands. Greetings, High King Fairchild of Ireland. May wisdom ever elude you. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. So be it. Let's go ahead and disband our armies there. And we have taken some prisoners as well in the siege. Low county control in Gwent. That's fine, because it's not going to be my problem for much longer. I'm going to give Gwent to good old Duke Les here. There we go. My cousin also looking quite happy in their marriage. They already have 2 children, which is nice to see. So Wales should prosper when it becomes independent upon the succession of the throne here. In fact, who is inheriting Wales? My first son gets the Kingdom of Wales. That's all he gets, as well as the kingdom title. Does he have any land of his own? He does not. Okay, that's interesting. But I guess he will stay in his vassal's court then, if Wales becomes independent. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see what happens there. Australand is still independent, so that's okay to see there. We still need more prestige. Let's go ahead and unpause the game. We could invite champions, which I don't think we're going to, just because I want to save the prestige. And we do have plenty of champions anyway. Let's see, my vassal does gain 25 opinion on me. So let's go ahead and sway someone else, because her relation is maxed out now. Let's see, is there anyone who doesn't like me? Just this one guy, and he's at plus 82. So let's go ahead and sway him for a short while, get him to 100. And then maybe we can start swaying the King of England, the Forlish King of England. Maybe even Lancaster. We'll have to see. My poor son. Today I was given grave news. My son Fairchild has fallen ill with typhus. The future is uncertain. Death lingers closely by his bedside, yet he might survive. Only St. Rutan knows. The physician wants to know how my son should be treated. Oh dear. You're my second son, right? Yeah, my second son. Has typhus. Fairchild suffers from cramp fever and is plagued by rushes, fever, and coughs. Oh dear, I think he's got the medieval COVID. Be cautious, do no more than what is necessary. Yeah, I don't think it's... I think he can... There we go, he has reduced symptoms for 1 year, so a massive health boost there. So if we look at his health, it's poor, but it would be much worse without that massive health boost, so that's fine. Let's see. Thanks to my wife, we managed to gain 150 prestige. That's looking good. And we have managed to sway this vassal as well. I think that's from earlier, right? We can also declare some wars. Let's see. Sweden is at war with someone. Do we... We could actually fight this war, because we gain some prestige, right? Which we need so we can do a kingdom invasion against the Danelaw. Because I don't want to... I really don't want to capture this 1 county at a time, although they don't have a lot of land anyway. We could do a kingdom... No, let's not do it against England. That doesn't feel right. We got to knock out the Norse, right. Maybe we could do this. How many allies do we have? Not many. Yeah, they don't have many allies at all. So what we could do, if we go ahead and create another rally point here, we would probably put this one here. In fact, there is no capital over here, so let's just go ahead and move this as close to the border as we can get. Maybe up here would be a good one, because the city is right here. And I think we might declare war for this county here. So let's go ahead and conquer county Although someone already has a claim. Norse Gale. We could subjugate them or force vassalization. They are Asatru Norse. I think we go ahead and conquer county. Let's go ahead and do that. It costs 75 prestige, but we will gain prestige as well. So let's go ahead and declare this war. And then let's go ahead and raise the armies as well. We're going to have 2 armies up here. That's absolutely fine. Oh, it's going to take a while to... I think I just messed up. 24 days left. Oh dear. Right. We should probably raise armies here. This is only going to take 8 days, and then I think we have to sail. I think we've already lost these armies because I was rather stupid. Let's try and just retreat them, I guess. And we'll have to see what happens. We could call on our house member as well. So the Duchy of Kent has 1,500 soldiers. They're not in any wars, so let's go ahead and call our house member to war as well. And I think that will be fine. We're going to lose these units, sadly. That's entirely my fault. There we go. Our house member does join the war as well. Let's go over to this army. This army has recruited all of their men. So let's go ahead and sail up here. Should be fine. The map. My spies have informed me about a hunter causing a ruckus at the local tavern. The man has been spending large amounts of gold and bragging loudly about the great deal he struck with a fancy lord in pearls and silk. Apparently he drew a map of the local plains for an unknown nobleman. The spies think the lord must be scheming against me or one of my subjects. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think it was unintentional. I think it was unintentional. Hostile scheme resistance +8. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Yeah, he was he drunk? And the man has been spending large amounts of gold. I think it was just a stupid decision and it wasn't intentional. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. We will have to be careful about that. And I just realised this army still actually fully mustered its men. Inspiration realised. My lord, my champion Hajofa gestures me over to an object covered in fabric with a wide grin on his face. I have toiled many days and nights and finally my work is done. He whips the covering off and my eyes grow wide as I see what's hidden beneath. A regal throne of masterful craftsmanship. The frame is constructed from solid elm posts and the seat is cushioned with linen pillows. So let's see, we get plus 0.15 prestige per month and plus 2 court grandeur bonus. We've already rest this part. A tiny but elegant inscription runs on its side, proudly stating, God is my strength. There we go, I think that's acceptable. This is lovely, very well done. Let's go ahead to our court, because we can in fact change our throne. Let's go ahead and look at it. I hope it looks nicer than the default one. Oh, not really. But it's fine. It's the throne of Ireland. There we go. We invest our riches into the realm rather than into the throne. We'll go with that storyline. Now, will this army escape in time? I think they have, you know. Now, where's my other army? Okay, they're currently up here. Depending, they're gonna sail in here. If you guys can come here, and maybe we can meet up in time. Typhus, balanced humours. My son Failchad has recovered from typhus. There we go. Wonderful news. Jesus be praised. My second son is recovered. That's sounding good. I think, let's see, that's a mountain. This is a plains. I think we should wait on the mountain. Probably would be for the best. So let's go this way. We're going to unite onto the mountains here. I think it's the best way to defend. Do we have allies arriving as well? There we go. We have 1,500 men from the Duchy of Kent arriving too. So I think we can send all of our armies in here now. It should be a victory, especially with these. Although it predicts defending in mountains, defensive buildings, better army commander, more commander traits. Oh, we might not actually win this, you know. Do my armies all have commanders? They do. That's my son. That's my commander. And that's Duke Les of Wales. So this is probably going to be our biggest battle yet. I don't think Kent actually wants to come and help us. They kind of just sat there watching on their ships. Okay, now they're arriving. Hopefully that is enough to turn the war in our favour. Now, the balance of power is in our favour, but we were losing men very quickly. We're going to have to check the aftermath of that battle for sure. So we did manage to kill one of their champions. We wounded another. Who's this? Chieftain Samuel of Ormond was wounded. And we wounded another one of theirs. Oh, 2 of our champions died. Oh dear. And these guys both came berserker. Was chopped into pieces. And this guy got his head ripped off. But we do manage to capture one of their champions as well. Plenty of stuff happening in that battle. Let's see what's happened here. Our vassals gained opinion of us. And we gained diplomatic expertise. +1 diplomacy. Thank you to my wife. Now, King of Alba doesn't like us very much. We could sway him, although we already have an alliance. What about the King of Lancaster? I think we're just going to sway the King of England. So let's go ahead and sway him. There we go. That should be fairly nice. And then if we go back over here, we are currently sieging. So that's fine. It looks like Kent is going to go up here just to defend. We got 8 months left on the siege. We should be able to complete that fairly easy. Depends where these guys go. They're going to siege over here. But it looks like they've actually changed their mind and they're going to sail back, spending their gold. Sadly, we lose 50 piety, thanks to my Archbishop's poor learning skill there. And we do gain another diplomacy perk. Let's get a Life of Glory. So level of fame impact +100%. That actually gives us more champions, I believe now. Number of knights +4. And we do now have few champions because we've gained those extra champion slots. So maybe we could call... send out for some knights. There is going to be a second battle as well. We have the advantage this time because they have just disembarked from their ships. So that's nice for us. Let's see. We are in March as well, so they're not going to be getting the Winter Soldier bonus. I should have checked for that first. Let's see. We wounded 1, 2, 3 of their champions. Let's see. Chieftain Samuel was wounded again. And... one of the enemy champions, Sigbjorn, rampaged for our soldiers and became a berserker. Okay, luckily he didn't kill anyone though. Let's see, we still got 5 months left on the siege. I think these are going to run away and come back again. They're spending a lot of gold. Infiltrators, it has come to my attention that some local commoners are moving to Exeter, the capital of King Eluid of England. Wait, Exeter is now their capital? Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Locals, newly settled or not, praising me can surely do no harm to his perception of me. Take this gold and make sure you're heard. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We can become popular among the peasants. Why not? Or the civilians. They're probably peasants, if you think about this timeline. Westerland under siege again, but they're going to abandon it straight away to sail back. Seems like the enemy here caught in a... just an endless cycle of bad decisions. 10 days left. Can we end the war before they land? No, we are currently in battle. Okay. We should win this one. And a faction has been created against us. The Mormerdom of Westerland has given rise to the Norse Catholic Popularists. So we go over here. They want independence from their liege. So Westerland is over there. And this is Ostraland, Norderland, Sutherland. Probably not how you pronounce that. But it looks like because of religion, they no longer want to be a part of us. And we found a Leviathan. It behooves a high king to spend time at sea with the salty air in his face and a fine vessel beneath his feet. Today sees my personal craft and a small escorting squadron out for drills, practice and pleasure. The short voyage has been exhilarating change of pace from life at court. When we spotted a distant plume of water followed by a small island of wine-dark flesh rolling out of the waves. The greatest beast of all the deeps, a whale. Now, we could hunt the whale. We would get 300 gold. Wow. A creature of fearsome majesty. This does reduce stress though. The whale goes free, we gain 75 prestige, and we lose stress because we are generous. I think because we are generous, we have to pick this one, even though 300 gold would have been very nice. And there we go, we've managed to capture a valuable hostage, so that's actually going to give us the war victory. And we do gain some fame and some prestige there. To the false king, High King Felchad. Oh, the false king now. Oh dear. May your years be short and miserable. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. So be it. Let's go ahead and disband the army. We did take some prisoners. We should look at our prisoners in just a second. And we were wounded. Including my son. My son was amongst the wounded there. Luckily, he's still alive though. And if we take a look here, we can actually ransom her. She's as a true Norse though. So I'm not going to do that. That's absolutely fine. I think we're all good here. So we now do have all of Iceland under our control. And we have gained some prestige. We're getting closer to exalting the Mongmeng. Let's go ahead and check our prisoners. She is in house arrest. I'm going to go ahead and move her to the dungeon. You are also in house arrest. You're as a true Norse as well. So I will move you to the dungeon. You are... How old are you? Oh, you're 22. Okay, you kind of look like a kid in your avatar. This guy's also in house arrest. Let's go ahead and move him to the dungeon as a true Norse. This guy is Welsh Norse. He's already in a dungeon. You are Welsh. Why are you in my dungeon? I think he was caught up in a war. I'm going to move you to the dungeon. As for you, though, you are a sinful character. I'm going to go ahead and move you to the dungeon as well. There we go. He's going to have to pay for his sins in the dungeon. There we go. That's all good. But that's all I have time for today. And just like that, 30 minutes has flown by. We do have all of Iceland now. I think next episode, we should have enough prestige. We just need 1,000 more. And then we become exalted in Mongmeng. And then we're going to do a kingdom invasion against the Danelaw. I just think having a kingdom invasion just sounds much cooler. And if we go here, you can only do one per lifetime. Invade kingdom, there we go. So if we invade the kingdom, it does sound like a one big push to get the Norse out of the British Isles. And I like it. It does sound good. But that's it for today. I will be back on Thursday when we'll have a Crusader Kings 3 video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you then.